Hi folks, it's Chef Kevin. What I have here is a Long Island duck. This is the American Peking duck, P-E-K-I-N, Peking, not to be confused with Peking. And there's also a German Peking duck as well. These are white ducks that originated from China in the 1870s. They were finally brought to Long Island, where the duck business was booming all through the 1960s. They were making 7.5 million ducks a year. And at the turn of the century, duck was very favored for high-end restaurants. It became very popular, it has a nice taste, a nice texture to it. It's kind of fallen out of favor lately, but I still like it. You can still find it in some high-end restaurants. The duck business has left Long Island now for environmental reasons and economic reasons. So these are actually bred in Pennsylvania now, but it's the same duck. Okay, so you're asking, what am I going to do with this duck? I'm going to use the whole bird. In fact, I'm going to use it three ways. I'm going to be making duck à l'orange, curry duck, duck soup, and before I make all that, I'm going to be making duck stock. Duck stock is the basis of many sauces, especially the orange duck à l'orange. That requires a stock made from duck. Now you can substitute chicken stock, but it's not the same thing. And stock is just basically flavored water. But you should always use a stock when you're cooking, just to give it more flavor. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the breasts from the duck, from my orange duck and curry duck, and I'm going to use the rest for stock. Okay, so what I did is I broke the duck down into 8 pieces just to expedite the cooking process. I have a bunch of fat. I just say that I'm gonna take the fat and put it into the stock pot, and this way it'll render down, and it can be utilized later as a cooking oil. So I'm trying not to waste anything here. Okay, what I'm going to do now is prep my veggies. Okay, folks, my veggies have been prepped. I'm going to start sauteing them off. This is what I have. I have a cup and a half of carrots and celery, like a medium dice. And that's what you want because it has a short cooking time. I'm only going to cook the duck for about an hour. So you want the pieces to be relatively small. And I have a whole onion here, and that's sort of a medium to smallish dice. I have some dried mushrooms here. That'll give it a nice little earthy taste. I have some garlic here. Who doesn't love garlic? It's in just about any cuisine. Bay leaves, crushed peppercorns. And then I also have some thyme, a little parsley, and some rosemary. I figure that rosemary goes really good with any type of poultry. Okay, I'm going to start sauteing it off. Okay, folks, this is my 8-quart stock pot. Put a little vegetable oil in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the onions in. Celery carrot mix in. garlic in, bay leaves in, and peppercorns in. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm sweating them down. I'm starting the cooking process. I'm just going to make the mixture translucent, soften it up. Not going to give it any color. Now actually this is an optional step. You don't have to really do this, but I like to do it because it brings out more flavor and more character in the stock. The other option is you can just place them in the cold water with the duck and skip this step here. It's a very short step though, it doesn't take a lot of time. I like to put the bay leaf in there right off so it starts getting that flavor going. And the black peppers gives it a head start. This is called sweating the vegetables. The vegetables have become nice and translucent, softened up, and now I'm going to go ahead and add my cut up duck. I cut this into small pieces so the cooking time will be shortened. My beautiful Long Island duck from Pennsylvania. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just fill it up to the top with cold water. Okay, I just topped it off. I have about 5 quarts of water in here. Gonna go ahead and add my aromatics. Now these are very small packages. This is only 1/4 of an ounce. So thyme, rosemary, parsley, dried mushrooms, now I'm not going to be putting any salt in until this is finished, because I may want to reduce this, and if it's too salty when it's finished, after I reduce it, it may become really salty. So I'm going to hold off on the salt. I'm going to bring this to a near boil. I'm not going to let it come to a full boil, because then all the impurities become part of the stock, and I don't want the impurities to be part of the stock. It becomes very cloudy if you let it come to a full boil. So I'm going to let it come to a near boil and simmer for an hour. Okay, this has been simmering for about 15-20 minutes, and if you notice on top there is like this foam on the surface, and that appears with every type of chicken or poultry stock that you make. It's considered an impurity, and what I'm going to do is take this little perforated spoon, like a strainer, pull off that scum, dip it in a bowl of water, and that removes it quickly. This will keep your stock from becoming cloudy. I'm going to do this about every 15 minutes or so. Okay, it's been an hour. The vegetables are fully cooked. If I can continue to cook the vegetables, I won't get any more flavor out of them. The duck is cooked, and if I cook it any longer than this, it's going to become overcooked. So I don't want to overcook it because I'm going to save the meat for my soup. Long Island duck soup. It's what's for dinner. Okay, so I'm going to take all these solids out. And place them on a perforated sheet. This way they drain and they cool quickly. You get the idea. Next thing I'm going to do is strain the pot through a fine mesh strainer. This one here. Okay, the strainer is over a pot that is sitting into an ice bath. Now that's called shocking. What I want to do is bring the temperature down quickly so it's not affected by bacteria. You can see all the stuff that was in the stock pot. That is trash. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more ice to the sink. And this will be cold enough to decant and refrigerate it in about 20 minutes. I just added some ice to the sink, and what I'm going to do actually is add some ice right into the stock. That will cool it down quickly. I am going to reduce this, so I'm not thinning it out really. There's a lot of duck fat in here, and that will rise to the surface of the container, and I'll scoop it off the container. And I'm actually going to save that because it's a very good cooking oil. Okay, I have my duck stock here. It's cooled down. I'm going to decant it and fridge it. And then I have all this duck meat and vegetables. I'm going to sort that out. I'm going to pull out the meat and throw out the veggies. Okay, we have 6 quarts of Chef Kevin's famous duck stock. Okay, you can see it's starting to separate already. That yellow is, of course, the duck fat. The stock is at the bottom. I'm going to let these cool overnight, and then I'm going to pull the fat off the top of them, and then I'm going to save it. You can use that. It's great for frying potatoes and veggies in it. Gives it a nice taste. This is one that I bought. Rendered duck fat. It was not cheap. And now I don't have to buy any for quite a while. Using all the duck. After everything has been said and done, I'm ending up with 8.3 ounces of duck meat. There was quite a lot of waste on that, but that's not a surprise to me. I can make three or four good soups out of this anyway. And I'm thinking of mixing it with some wild rice and some peas. I think that'd be a real good combination. And the other thing is I have quite a bit of bone here. That's a lot of bone. The duck weighed 4 3/4 pounds. So that's a lot of waste. But it's not total waste, because what I'm going to do now is put it back into a stock pot with some cold water, and I'm going to get some extra flavor out of that, and I'm going to get a lot of gelatin. There's a lot of gelatin in that bone. It's going to take several hours to get it all out. I'll add a little vinegar to the water, and that'll help break down the bones. And this way I don't have to use as much water as I would to make a sauce, because the gelatin is very thick and it creates a nice smooth sauce. So I'm going to start that right now. This is one of the 6 quarts of duck stock. As you can see, it has a whole bunch of fat, duck fat, on top. I'm just going to skim it. I actually put this in the freezer just for about an hour or so that the fat will get firm, and scraping it would be a little bit easier anyway. So that's basically it, folks. I'm going to be making some curry duck and some duck à l'orange using this stock. So I have a few ideas. And if you like my channel, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and hit the notification button. This way you can get all my latest cooking demos. Okay, thanks for watching.